Hey everyone, and welcome to the 100th and the. This is getting too hard. I can't say these numbers.
That's what she said.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the 111th episode of We're All in the Same Boat. I'm your host, Luke Roxwell, and today we are going to be talking about Call of Duty, video games in general, and the movie theater insanity that's been going down. And we're going to try and get to a rank it. So, today, I am here with Michael.
Hey.
Shayne.
What's up?
And Nick.
Yo.
Welcome to the podcast, everybody.
Thank you.
Ooh.
I play video games now.
Yeah, you have been playing a lot of games.
How did you just start that?
Really
I don't
quick.
understand.
And it's been
wait.
I just want to.
Didn't Bilbo on his 111th birthday call it like 11T1 in Lord of the Rings?
If I had done that, I wouldn't have messed up the intro.
Yeah. Anyway, you play video games now, Luke. Wow.
Yeah. And he plays them quite often because he's randomly just started talking about video games, asking questions about consoles, randomly playing random games in the middle of the night. I'm like, Luke, what is going on? Are you a gamer?
Wait, what games are you into, Luke?
Well, I just got an Xbox.
Yes, he did.
And I just figured I'd try video games a little bit because I hadn't really played them in like 10 years. I basically played when I was younger, and then
just thought I'd try.
I turned like 18, and they went away, and they never came back, and I was never interested in video games. And every time I played them, I didn't enjoy it, and I think it's because when HD TVs came out, this is kind of stupid, but when HD TVs came out, there's like an input lag on HDMI cables. And I think that just kind of wrecked it. It just felt off when I was playing. Like I would move a person in a direction and it would take like a 200 millisecond delay. And it just...
When was this?
Right when it first started. I remember on Guitar Hero, that was a big thing. There was like a huge lag.
It killed Guitar Hero.
Yeah, Guitar Hero,
But you had to calibrate your...
You had to calibrate it.
Calibrate it.
No one could calibrate it. No one could ever get it right.
Look, when you're a child...
really easily. But
when you're a child, you should not be having to calibrate a Guitar Hero game to play Guitar Hero.
I'm playing Guitar Hero. The way they made you calibrate it was you actually had to be like a musician and tap on rhythm. And I'm like, I'm playing Guitar Hero because I can't do this stuff in real life.
Because I can't do it.
It just doesn't work. But yeah, so I've been trying video games. Michael has been trying video games too.
Wait, you both have never played?
Michael's always been playing video games.
This doesn't mean we've never played video games. We're just...
Yeah. It's not like McDonald's.
Oh.
I kind of got back into video games last year because I got the Nintendo Switch. But it's kind of the same reason as now. Like, I just don't see people that often. And I was like, all my friends are playing games on the internet, so I'll try to play some games on the internet too. That's like half of the reason why I started playing was because
you want
I wanted to play with my
friends?
friends. But also, I really wanted to play Zelda. And now I'm playing Zelda in hard mode.
If I were to buy anything right now, it would be a Switch.
I know. I want to get a Switch.
Yeah.
Me too.
They're so expensive right now because they're in such huge demand. Because everyone's at home doing nothing, and everyone wants to play Animal Crossing.
And you could get the Lite, but the Lite is not worth it.
Nah, it's cool. I like the way it looks, but you can't play it on your TV. So it's like, what's the point of having?
Yeah, it's just the handheld, which in essence is cool. But when the regular Switch does both, what's the point of getting the Lite besides saving the money?
Why do you guys... I feel like the Switch... I mean, nothing against the Nintendo, but the Switch isn't really very powerful. And so what games are... What games on that system are you like, I need to get this system for that game?
Oh, like
you specifically, Nick.
The classic...
I mean, Zelda was a good one. But, I mean, I got PS4 for Last of Us. That was like why I got PS4.
Yeah. I got a PS4 for... Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, most people get PS4 for a story base. Xbox, you're usually getting like Halo or Warzone, and then Switch is usually Mario based or Mario Party.
Yeah, or Smash Brothers, Mario Kart.
Right. I mean, I know Nintendo. I was just meant like, is there a game on the Switch that people really want right now? Because right now it's
Animal Crossing
party games. Animal Crossing.
What is up? Is that really? I don't know anything about
Animal Crossing. Has been popular since
everyone loves it right now.
It's cute.
Animal Crossing has been popular since middle school time, and I've never understood the appeal. I played Animal Crossing like on the N64, and I just never could get into it. And all of my friends, all of them, were obsessed. I said, how do you guys enjoy playing these little characters?
Yeah. So don't you just make like a farm for no reason?
It's so fun.
Like, there's not like a real story.
I think
or a bad
nowadays.
Wait. Who here has actually played Animal Crossing out of the four of us?
I mean, for like
not in
like
my
a brief
adult life,
amount
but
of
as a
time.
child, yes.
Yeah. It was like one of those things. I was at like a friend's house and we played for a few hours. Same with Minecraft. I've never really played those.
Yeah, games. I couldn't tell you about Minecraft.
Stardew Valley, that same vibe. You like build a farm kind of thing, and you're collecting crops. But I just got bored with it. Like my parents played Farmville, and it's just like I just can't get into it. You know?
It's dumb.
I feel that.
Oh, Farmville, yeah.
I feel like Animal Crossing only makes sense now because now you can visit your friends' farms and stuff.
Yeah, now that it's interactive, it's like a whole world. That was what makes it cool.
I don't like games that don't have a point to them. Like I hate like tedious video games. I don't like to work. I don't like to work in a video game.
I don't like to work.
Well, the point of Animal Crossing.
I hate when I have to grind, dude.
That's the whole point of a video game.
You hate when you have to grind.
You're working to get somewhere.
He's got a minute. When people are like, oh, I have to go back and spend 100 hours doing something I hate doing, so that I can enjoy this video game.
What game are you playing?
That takes think about this. Like a video game.
It's like every game people talk about.
When you have to work. When you have how many hours? Let's say it's 5 hours. Like 5 hours of something I don't want to do is a lot of time.
That is a lot of time.
I think
it depends.
For 150 hours so far. Like you have to put in work.
Man,
why don't you like?
But that's my point. What's the difference in doing that in a game that's more relaxing?
If he loved it, if he likes it
Animal
for
Crossing's relaxing.
If he liked it for 150 hours, that's a lot of time he spent enjoying it. But if he hated it, why did he do it? What's Shayne?
Well, here's the thing about Zelda.
What was Shayne? What were we
Shayne?
Well, I was gonna ask just to keep the conversation kind of streamlined. What is it about grinding that you don't like to do? Because now I understand why someone might not like grinding because a lot of Kingdom Hearts revolves around grinding, so you can be at the right level. But I enjoy Kingdom Hearts, the game and the layout and the world. So I don't mind going back to have to do things. So what is it about, like in Pokemon too, I loved grinding and leveling up my Pokemon to get stronger, right? What is it about grinding that you don't like?
Because Shayne, I'm always grinding. I don't want to
in
come
real
home
life.
and sit on my
fair
couch
enough.
To grind again.
Shut up, Shayne. No, it's not.
Grinding in Kingdom Hearts is actually fun because all you do is fight enemies to get experience. That's fun.
Yeah.
But like in Zelda Breath of the Wild, the only reason why I did all this is because I just love Zelda and it's so beautiful and like I wanted to beat the game and be super strong in the game. But you have to literally cook like food.
Oh,
so
you have to
survive.
do random tasks.
And like it takes like to cook enough food to survive for like a few hours of playing. We have to go to like some extreme environments or have enough food to beat strong enemies because basically almost every enemy can one hit kill you until you get a certain amount of hearts. Like it takes like a good half an hour to like cook enough food for an adventure and then go.
I'm getting that Michael doesn't like realism in video games.
That's like the new thing.
Any work I have to do in real life to stay alive, I don't want to do it in a video game.
So
that's the new thing, though.
So you don't really care for RPGs, then?
I like RPGs. I just don't like. Okay, I like RPGs where you gain experience by fighting and you can like do some tasks to get some stuff. But like now we have to like literally do the same thing for hours
over and over again.
It's not so much the grind; it's the gameplay behind the grind, right? So like you don't mind slashing things.
I'm here to
you don't want to collect. You're not here to. Yeah, you're not trying to collect crops. What about a blend? So if you had Red Dead Redemption 2, where you're shooting things, and then you have to hunt deer, is that like, cool. Is that more?
Yeah. Like in Zelda, you can hunt animals too, and that's kind of fun because you can sneak up on them and do stuff. But when you have to like sit at a pot and just put ingredients in there for minutes and minutes on end, it's just or some games you have to just like.
Well, it's different too. If
is it difficult? Money just to go do something. It's like this is real life.
Is it a difficult task or is it just tedious task. I just have to do it? It's basically you're watching the game load.
It's kind of like watching the first season
annoying.
of The Office to get to the rest of The Office. It's like you have to watch it. It's not as good, but it's gonna be amazing after that. Trust me. But it's like in that time, I actually like the first season of The Office, but people say that. But when you have to like grind through the sucky part to get to the fun part, that's not what I'm doing it. I'm not doing it to have a sucky time before I get to the good times.
I think a better comparison is Parks and Rec probably because that was a horrible first.
Yeah, the first season of Parks and Rec is rough.
Yeah,
never seen either one of those shows.
What, Shayne?
I know. Okay,
wait, why? We've talked about this, but why again?
Fair enough. I actually have seen some episodes of The Office with my friends, but I've never sat there and like I'm gonna watch The Office.
I think it's worth your
but
time.
I kind of want to now. I do kind of want to now because I've seen a lot of clips, and it seems like a show I would really like, and I like that style of show.
Yeah.
And I know they just celebrated, I think, the 15th anniversary.
Yeah. It's also coming off. They're taking it off Netflix in January.
Yeah, and then they're going to CBS, right?
So get ready.
Is it possible that there's any show that we can do a rank it with The Office? Like, are there any comparable shows?
Yeah, Parks and Rec for sure.
No, it's not, though, because The Office wins.
What? No, it doesn't.
See, there we go.
You think Parks and Rec is better than The Office?
I think in Community. Isn't Community kind of the same thing?
Is awesome.
I don't want to take up our time.
Office, though.
I don't want to take up our time because we're still talking about video games.
We can cover this. I just didn't think it was a question.
It's the same writer, same style. It's apples and oranges. A lot of people argue that the characters are more developed in Parks and Rec.
Which one is better?
Apples and tangerines.
Which one is better?
Look.
I think season 8 and 9 of The Office would like to have a word with you about which one is better.
Because
the Parks and Rec had 7 strong seasons, my friend.
No, not season 1. Ooh. But I mean, like 7, and like they stopped. They stopped when The Office started getting bad too. Think about this. Oh, wait, actually, you're right. We can't discuss this.
Wait, I'm saying this could be the longest tangent of our lives.
This could be our rank it. This is important.
I'm gonna write it right down.
Yeah, this is our rank it today.
The Office, but what else?
Not.
Okay, then what else can we compare? The Office,
Parks and Rec.
Don't say Friends.
You have to say
Friends.
You have to compare similar style shows.
Yeah.
But I never watched. I never watched.
There's not another
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Is that the
Brooklyn Nine-Nine? I've
never seen that, but I want to see that because it looks really good.
It's funny, but I haven't seen much of it.
I would say it's like the only Community. Well, it's funny because The Office, Parks and Rec, and Community were actually in the same lineup briefly in 2009. Yeah. That was the ultimate lineup of the decade for
Community is like
late night
level
television.
though. Not like it's like way better, but it's just a totally different kind of show.
That's the thing, though, and that's why it's hard to rank them.
Like a video game.
You want to rank shows that are somewhat similar and absurd, and I think
Brooklyn Nine-Nine kind of covers that. You want to rank things people want to fight about. I want people to fight.
Yeah, but there has to be something to fight about.
Yeah, people love characters.
I didn't know that.
Both of those shows.
Like, Parks and Rec is great.
We will talk.
No one's gonna argue over like The Office versus Hannah Montana versus like Scrubs. Like no one's gonna like. The shows have to be like the similar style show for it to be something
Scrubs
to fight over.
Be comparable. That's still a different show.
Well, I know. That's what I'm saying. They're so different. That's why you can't really argue over them because.
So one of the reasons I wanted to bring up the video games is just to talk about a specific video game that's
what have you been playing?
Been quite dude, this is a good game. Like I'm just gonna say it out there. It's really, really fun. Coming from the guy who doesn't play video games.
What game?
Have you?
Wait, what game?
Warzone.
Let the people know.
It's Call of Duty Warzone.
Free
it's basically now. Here's what my friend said. He goes. Warzone is literally Fortnite. And then I cut in and was like, you know that Fortnite is literally PUBG. Like they stole PUBG and made Fortnite. And he goes, yeah, but we didn't catch them, so we can't fault them for that. So basically, they stole it from
everyone
Fortnite.
caught them.
The thing about PUBG, though, is that it's a ripoff of DayZ. And then DayZ is a ripoff of Armored.
Really?
Like, it all goes back. Yeah, they all go back.
It's just
they're all the same similar vibe.
All the same style. It's a battle royale. How different can it be?
For years, there have been these open beta, open battle royale games.
Didn't GoldenEye start at all on Nintendo 64?
Well, that's no
I'm
fun.
just thinking about, online battle royale.
No, but hold up. But the type of battle royale with the circle closing...
Yeah, they got that from the Hunger Games.
Isn't that Fortnite?
That's the Hunger Games. That's what it is.
PUBG did that first, didn't they?
Did they really?
PUBG does the... Hold on.
I've never played PUBG.
When did PUBG come out?
I played Fortnite one time.
Before Fortnite. I don't know.
And I ran around and died.
Oh, at Fortnite? I'm trash at Fortnite. I've used to
never played Fortnite.
Some of my...
Okay, listen. Let's do some stats here for a second. So... PUBG, Player Unknown Battlegrounds is what it's actually called, came out the very end of 2017. Yes. Okay, so let's see when Fortnite.
So these are all ripoffs of the Hunger Games. Okay, that's it. It's making it all very clear because that's...
We all want to be the Hunger Games. Is it Hunger Games?
That this is.
Maybe more purgy in that we all just want to kill everyone.
No, the Hunger Games was we're dropping all in. You guys have to kill each other, and if you don't kill each other fast enough, we're going to shoot things into you so you get closer and closer together until you die.
Hunger Games.
It's the same thing.
Hold on.
And they even give you loot to find and everything.
There are a lot of games like that, though.
Hold up, guys. Stop a second.
Luke's trying to talk for like 4 minutes.
Did Fortnite come out before PUBG? That's not right.
No, Fortnite just
Why
came
does it
out
say
2018.
first release? His first release is July 25th, 2017.
For
initial
Fortnite?
release date was for Fortnite was September 26, 2017. That's the initial release date.
Where are you
Nobody was talking about
I'm reading
Fortnite
on Wikipedia, okay, so I'm right.
This was on the card in Google, so initial release date.
Where did Google get it from?
On Wikipedia, it says release September 26, 2017, Fortnite.
Oh, the Battlegrounds beta came out in March.
Okay.
And then the game got released in December.
Yeah.
So Fortnite saw the
close.
beta, then they
I
made their
thought
own
I was
game
wrong.
real fast.
Basically, and Fortnite, but Fortnite, the whole basis of Fortnite is all stolen. Everything from Fortnite is unoriginal ideas. All of their dances they stole from people and got sued by almost everyone in the music industry. Sued them.
Oh, really?
Yes, they stole people's dances and claimed them as their own. They're making millions from
like that
little kids.
Wasn't the
I know they
floss
stole
thing?
dances, but I didn't know they got. I didn't know you could sue somebody over that.
Yeah, well, some people. It's like some of the dances were created from certain songs or by certain artists, and so the record labels are like, "Nah, you're not doing that. Give us our money."
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Fortnite got a lot of controversy last year.
Fortnite did get sued for copying PUBG.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. But the kids don't care. The kids will play Fortnite because
kids are gonna play what they're gonna play.
Fortnite is life.
Fortnite won. I don't know what happened with the lawsuit, but Fortnite won.
I haven't heard of PUBG.
They had more money. They had better lawyers.
More young kids putting up their mom's credit card. Basically.
So basically,
what I'm saying, Fortnite, when Marshmello comes and does a live concert somehow in Fortnite, I still don't know how that really worked out.
Yeah.
And you get like 27 million people to like tune in at one time. Fortnite is winning.
Yeah,
any battle.
It really is. Fortnite
any
just
lawsuit.
So
I will say, go ahead. But I will say, I didn't mean to do that, but I had to say it. Warzone did get 40 million players in less than a month, so that is pretty impressive.
How many does Fortnite have?
How long has the game been out?
I made it in like 2 months.
Not very long.
Okay, because if it's only been out for a month, we got to see the drop rate, the retention rate, who's staying around.
Yeah. People are staying around because it's fun. But
I haven't played yet, so I did download the game.
Here's what I'm going to cover then. Here's the way the game works.
Okay.
So it is literally Fortnite, exactly the same thing. It's just exactly the same as Fortnite. You're in like a plane. You jump out of the plane and then you parachute down. You can like do the look around thing. Same
it's with
with
more
Fortnite.
people though. There's 150 people.
I don't know how many people play Fortnite though.
It's not 150. I'll tell you that.
100, I think. I think it's 100.
Yeah.
I don't play enough Fortnite to know.
But so basically, you fall down with your squad because generally you play squads. You can play solo, but squad is the way to play it. Yeah. So you land and then you like find weapons and then if you die, you technically have one life. But if you die early enough in the game, you go into the gulag, which is the coolest concept ever. I think that's so awesome.
About that.
Here's what it means. So you die, and then it like shows you, and you get taken to like this prison, and you fight against one other player that also died. And if you beat them, if you win, you get to go back into the game.
They stole that concept from. I know where that concept comes from.
Oh no, they steal it from someone else.
Yeah, where did that come from, Shayne?
Where did they steal it from?
I don't think original anymore.
I can't remember.
I knew that wasn't original.
I'm pretty sure it's. I don't think it's from another game.
Idea.
I think it's from like an anime or something. I don't think it's from another game.
Well, I just know that 1v1 is a common like game type.
But to come back to life to do that.
But to blend that with, because here's the thing with Battle Royale, when you die, you're dead, right? And that kind of sucks because if you die right at the beginning of the game, you waited forever to join the game and then you died right at the beginning.
Yeah.
This gives all the players who die early in the game a chance to actually do something for a little while.
Give you something to do. Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's really smart.
It is really cool. It's really smart.
I'm Googling this though. Was the gulag in Warzone stolen from another game?
I feel like whoever made Call of Duty would hire someone to hide bad PR like that. You know what I mean?
I'm just like they're going through the documents on Google, like delete.
I'm sure it's not stolen exactly. I'm sure like they made adaptions,
Yeah, I mean, it's
to
also
whatever
like
it is
the
that fit their game.
54th Call of Duty game. Like, that's not like it's not like they came out with like a brand new original idea.
Yeah, for sure.
The game is free though.
So can you?
Let me just say that.
How customizable is it? Because I've only gotten to like the main screen and everything's still locked for me because I think it's still installing. So can you like customize your character?
The fact that installing a game these days takes as long as building a building.
It said 9 gigs, and I said, wow.
My friend's been downloading this game for days. It's still downloading.
It's basically 10 gigs. So I understand.
I think it's 100 gigs.
Whoa.
It's
huge. Yeah, 10 gigs does not take days.
It's like 100 gigs.
Oh, well, to get maybe to install everything in the game, but just to get the app on my PS4, it was 10 gigs.
Dang.
Yeah, it took like 30 minutes. I was like, what the heck? I'm just trying to play.
It's a big game. But yeah, just
I
want to
heard
say
it's
that
their
as
biggest
like
map ever. I watched like a video on everything.
It's pretty, yeah.
It's crazy.
They have like 7 different locations or something like that.
Oh, I didn't even finish explaining how the game works. For people listening, you jump down, and if you die early enough in the game, you go to the gulag, you get a second chance to come back, so I like that. However, the thing that makes the game interesting, which is definitely Warzone's original idea, definitely wasn't stolen from Fortnite, which definitely wasn't stolen from PUBG. There's a circle that shrinks on the battlefield. So as you're fighting,
a dope idea.
I love it. Yeah, as you're fighting, you get kind of like, it's like the area gets smaller, and so you keep having to move and sort of fight people in different areas. So it just squishes everyone into a little area. It's great. From like a game mechanics, like from all the triggers of things that are enjoyable in a game, like the difficulty, the challenge, the hype, the energy, it's all there.
Well, Luke, you haven't answered my question.
I get my hands on an Xbox.
Can you customize your character?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like Fortnite.
Pretty sure. I don't know much about the customizability. I've never really cared about that when it comes to games. But I'm just
saying, if I'm playing a game and there's going to be 150 people on the map, I want to stand out. Okay.
She's gonna be like in hot pink and neon green shoes. Like I
don't want to look like
shoots like giant just like rainbow blasts. Like
so
I'm here.
Yeah, Nick, you talk about this game because you've been playing it.
Yeah, I have. I was just saying the game's still in open beta, and so you have to realize that it did just come out also, and it is free to play. But I think it is still technically a beta mode. Is that right?
Oh, I didn't know. Sure. I mean, it makes sense.
Probably it just came out.
I might be thinking of a different game. Yeah, I think I might be wrong on that. But from what I know, there is customizability. But most people look the same. Honestly, most I've played, everyone kind of has the same desert.
You probably have to unlock different,
or pay for it,
or buy.
Yeah, it's probably something
you gotta
like
pay
that.
real money to get new. You gotta pay real money to get new skins at Fortnite.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind free to play games in game purchases, but that's still cool. We should play.
That's how they make their money, right? Is like because no one's buying it. Everyone's buying all the customizable stuff. So,
and I want to say the free to play model is really good because I've been playing
freemium
League of Legends for like maybe going on close to 5 years, which is kind of crazy to say that. But the game is free to play, but I've spent more money in in-game purchases than I would have ever spent on just buying like a $70 game, right?
That's another thing that I hate because I have to work in real life to buy things in the video game to succeed in the video game. I'm not going to succeed in life
grind.
Right now.
No, here's what's so funny. It's like, dude, I have to grind in real life to get the money so I can buy this stuff and then grind in the video game that I already paid my real money.
Like, why are you working so much, man? I gotta buy a new gun. Why? So I can beat the guy in the gulag.
So I can be awesome.
Well, we should make a podcast squad and kill kids.
100%.
It is crossplay. That is one of the cool things about Warzone and what games are doing now. Is you can play on any platform.
I'm gonna get my mom's Xbox and I'm gonna join you.
This is actually going to tie into our next topic, so I think we actually should move into the next topic. So Shayne, you said a second ago where you were like, I love the free-to-play model, right?
Yes.
And I was actually saying this to someone yesterday when we were talking about this movie theater thing, where I said, I'm used to YouTube, I'm used to Netflix, and when I got an Xbox, I paid for Game Pass. And it's like, why? I'm just used to having everything. I don't want to buy an Xbox and go, great, I can't do anything with this. I have to go buy one game for $60 and I might hate it. I want to pay $10 a month and I want to have all the games. Yeah. And then I can figure out which ones I want. Like that's the way Netflix works. It's kind of the way YouTube works a little bit because YouTube's even more though, because you get most stuff for free, and then you pay for that little bit of extra to access to all of it. But this whole model of you want one, you buy it is going away. People want everything, you know, and so
isn't that what Xbox Game Pass kind of is? Like you get access to all these games.
You don't not to everything, but you get a good like I don't know 100 different games. Like all the Halo games are on there. All the Gears games are on there.
The reason why I don't think that's necessarily going to go away unless they figure out a way to do it. It's more so for the game developers, because if we were paying a subscription, they're not really getting paid unless Microsoft, Sony are shelling out a lot of money to the developers to account for that. If they're just getting a $10 subscription,
right? But it's people paying $10 every month for years.
Yeah, but where that most of that money is going to go to Microsoft or Sony. It's not going to go to the game developers.
For like
how
game,
does that work?
Because it's the same thing with music, like how Spotify and Apple Music. Most of that money is going to Apple and Spotify for the streams, and then they have to pay the artists whatever their certain amount is, but the artists don't get the money for the streams. Spotify gets the money for the streams.
Mm-hmm. There's not really anything like that on the market that isn't really.
I'm just saying that's what people want. I think
I know it's what people want. I just don't know how that would work for video games.
Here's the thing, like. What does everyone do with Adobe? They're like they used to buy Photoshop, and then they would maybe buy Premiere, and then they would maybe buy After Effects, and that was it. And eventually Adobe was like, never mind, you can pay $50 a month and get them all.
Everything. Yeah.
And that's it. And everyone's like, all right. And I know so many people that have the Adobe suite, and like that's expensive software, but it's like it's all or nothing, and that's tends to be what people want. But anyway, the reason I was saying that this is related to the topic we're going to bring up is we're talking about what's going to happen in the future with movie theaters, because not like, let alone let's forget about this whole coronavirus stuff. Outside of that, movie theaters have already been kind of suffering. Then on top of that, now coronavirus. So like no one's going to movies right now, but even after, things open up again, you really think people are going to want to go into a little box room and sit next to a bunch of people that can just breathe all over them?
I've been thinking about this a lot, actually. Yeah, it's gonna take a while. Just for people to get used to being in big spaces again, like, or at least not being afraid of it. That's gonna be like at least a year, I think.
I don't agree with that, because I've been going back to work. I mean, I agree with that in some cases, but I've been going back to work the past week, and there is a golf course right around from where I'm working, and when I tell you that parking lot is full every single day. And now I know a golf course is big and there's a lot of space, but when I tell you it's all day long, there are tons and tons of people going at the same time, whether it's raining, whether it's sunshine.
I will say this. Right, actually. I'm not saying that you're wrong, but I do want to kind of address part of that, because a golf course in an open field with 100 people is different than 100 people in a little box with the doors closed, right? Hear me out. Let's talk about what the actual topic is. So I guess what happened is, because movies can't make any money in the movie theater, the CEO, well, not the CEO, but Universal decided to release their new kids movie, the new Trolls movie, to just video on demand. Basically,
World Tour.
You can pay for it, and that's how you watch it. There's just skipping the movie theater entirely and just releasing it. So this movie came out, and it did really, really, really well. Like, it made like $100 million in revenue for home video sales, which is a record. I don't think any video on demand has ever made that much money. And Universal was like, that's kind of interesting. And the CEO was like, all right, this is the future. Video on demand, Hulu, Netflix, blah, blah, blah. That's it. This is the future. And AMC lost their mind. And the CEO of AMC was like, we are never playing another Universal Studios movie until they retract this. That's the topic.
That's stupid.
Who's stupid though? Because this is going to be interesting.
AMC.
Wait, what was?
Well, we're not going to play. We're not going to let you pay us to play your movies until you stop saying that you won't pay us to play your movies.
So I think both people and both
first
parties.
Shayne, then you, Nick.
Both parties are stupid in this situation. It's the same thing like with the Sony and Marvel type of deal. Is that both things kind of need each other. Now, I understand that this particular movie did really well on demand, at home, people watching it, because it is a children's movie. It is a family-friendly children's movie. A lot of families are going to watch it, and kids, particular, like to watch things over and over again, which a normal person would probably go watch a movie once, maybe they watch it twice. No, kids want to watch Frozen 2 30 times in a row, right? So those type of things are going to do well. I don't think that regular movies or like more low budget movies can succeed in that, because one, you would have to do much more marketing to let people know that they can watch it at home and not like, you know, see it on the giant theaters. And so for certain movies, I think it would work. Me personally, I'm going to a theater as soon as they're open, because I don't even like the idea of watching certain things at home. Like, I need to be, now I don't even like to sit next to people to begin with in movie theaters, so I won't have that problem. But
hold up. Let's do something.
Oh yeah, I don't want to skip. I don't want to skip.
You did say, I'm going to go to you in a second, Nick. I know you had something to say, but I do want to say, when you said little kids want to watch movies 100 times in a row,
they do.
It literally is true, because I remember when we got Monsters Inc. on VHS, and it was literally like a blue tape. It was like the weirdest looking, you know. Just,
oh yeah.
Right. I swear it was like 50 days in a row. My sister was like, "Hey, we're going to watch Monsters Inc. again." And I remember being just old enough to being like, "Again, guys, I know the whole movie. I don't need to watch it. To what? I can just close my eyes and I see the whole movie now."
And kids love that. They love saying every single line. They love saying all the lines. They love acting it out. I've said, some of us haven't seen the movie, so please stop talking.
Nick, what were you going to say?
I realized I answered I was just making sure I knew it was the Trolls World Tour on demand premiere that caused this controversy.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the most hilarious thing that.
But that movie looks really good.
Two billionaires are fighting over Trolls World Tour right now.
I know. It's like, that's what they said in the Forbes article that I read about this. They were like, what better thing to stir this up than a troll? And you're like, hey!
Yeah. I don't understand why people are like upset. Like, I understand like certain industries are going to be upset, but I think most people are okay with theaters dying in some ways, because like you said, on demand is just kind of the way to go.
What?
Well, and the idea of going to the movie theater, right, is going to be lost for the next year, because people can't be in a box unless they're spread out wearing masks. So sales are going to suffer no matter what.
Theaters were dying or getting hurt before.
Regardless, because the Netflix.
No matter what people want to happen, they might just all go out of business by the time we get back to normal.
Right. So the question is now, how can they survive with sales? I mean, so far, they're just going to be down no matter what. You can't come back when people have to socially distance in a theater. They have to build more theaters to keep people spread out.
Yeah.
It's not going to have anywhere the same revenue. But I don't know. I just, with Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, all these things on demand now, and now we have like movies being released, and people. It just doesn't seem like this is the thing that people care about anymore. It's just another dying fad.
Shayne,
it's like malls.
Let me hear what Shayne was going to say. What were you going to say, Shayne?
I was going to say that for me, now for the average person, I probably agree. The people who are like, I would rather just probably stay at home anyways. There's going to be those people. They were already going to be those people. Those are the Netflix people who just love sitting on their bed, flipping through whatever they want to watch, right? Those people are cool. I think for people who like watching movies, you can't really change, or you can't really have a better, I don't think, experience than seeing a movie in a movie theater with other people. Then unless you have at home, you have like the Ultra HD, 8K, curved screen, surround sound, mood lighting, reclining seats. Unless you got that set up in your house, you're never going to be a traditional cinema experience. That's why it'll never go away for me. And to say the thing, to point on what Nick said about them making money, the movie theaters don't even really make money from the ticket sales. That's why concessions are so high, and Americans are fat. So American theaters will always succeed because we will always get our large popcorns and our large sodas, even though we don't finish them.
All right, let's hope in America. All right, let's think about this for a second though. Like, if we break this apart, let's break it into pieces. The first thing we got to decide if we agree on or agree with or disagree with is the future of cinema is in paid services like HBO, Netflix, and Hulu. Do you agree with that or not?
Absolutely. 100%. I think most people do.
Yeah,
I think
most people do, but I know one of us here doesn't. Shayne, what do you think?
I don't think theaters are going away. I do think that streaming is
the future of cinema. Like, do you think that the big blockbuster movie, like they're
some movies just have to be in theaters.
Let me explain this. So, back in the day, 50 years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, people were like, I want to be in Hollywood. I want to be a movie star. I want to be a movie star. I want to be
on the big screen.
Now, what does everyone want to be now? Nobody wants to be a movie star.
Everybody wants to be an influencer.
They want to be on YouTube. They want to be an influencer. They want to be an Instagrammer. They want to be a vlogger. Like, that's what they want to be.
They just want to go viral.
Right? So the old industry, the old thing that people wanted to do is now gone. So right now, where do the big movies want to go? Movie theaters, right? That's where they go. They go to the movie theater. But now, is it shifting? Like The Irishman. The Irishman movie came out on Netflix. Marriage Story came out on Netflix. Those movies got nominated for a ton of Oscars. Like, they got a lot of attention. Is that the future?
It's wherever the big Hollywood studios put their money.
Yeah, it's wherever you're going to get the most money.
Netflix owns Hollywood, just saying.
It's whatever you're going to get the most people to watch. But some movies you just
Which is what? Not movie theaters.
Yes, but some movies you just cannot. Like, imagine watching Endgame on your 32-inch TV.
Right.
For the first time.
The idea.
Imagine. The worst experience ever.
Well, so there's something to be said about that.
With your mediocre sound, with your dog sniffing up on you. No, the worst experience ever.
I think very select people are gonna go to the theater, and then they're just gonna kind of slowly drift away, and it'll become like a niche thing. Like, hey, you want to go to the movies? We haven't been in like 3 years.
Yeah, theaters. They're gonna be like bowling alleys. How often do you go to a bowling alley?
A lot of people go bowling too.
I know, but not compared to what they used to have.
You can't compare anything to its prime,
Shayne,
Luke.
Hold on. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like if the prime is gone and the prime of because basically I do think that HBO, Netflix, and Hulu and all of these are going to own the industry soon. And I think that because while you're saying like, oh, it's inconvenient to watch movies at home because your dog is going to be sniffing on you, you have to.
That's not what I said.
But whatever you said, I'm just saying like that isn't. You're not wrong. That's true. But there's also inconveniences with going to the movie theater. First of all, you have to drive, and then you have to pay for the parking, and then you sit next to someone who sucks and won't shut up during the movie. And then like
you're paying
the sound
for parking at the theater.
Let's say the sound is wrong. Like I've gone to movie theaters and they had the sound wrong.
I've gone to movie theaters and the movie has just completely blacked out and shut down. So
yeah.
So it's like there are risks
there.
You can't get a good seat.
Part of the experience.
Hold on, you're sitting in the front. You're sitting in the front row, and you can't see the movie. Like there are risks in going to a movie theater.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so the convenience of doing it at home is so, I think, offsets the issues with going to theater that most people are just not going to go to theaters.
You can control the environment with your own snacks.
You can pause it.
Yes. Oh, no, trust me. I get all the benefits.
Nick, go ahead.
I know the benefits.
I was just going to say, it's like TiVo. You want to be able to pause it. Yesterday, we watched a movie. We got to make our own popcorn the way we wanted. It was completely free. And we had our own drinks that were spiked. We had, and we were able to just chill and listen. And, I don't have the best speaker system, but I would have definitely preferred that than going to the movies.
Here's the thing, too. Let me say one thing, and then I'll okay, if you go to a movie theater, now I love going to movie theaters.
There are problems with
but if you go to a movie theater, it is let's say you go to a really good one, $20 each ticket. So if I go on a date with Ruji, it's like $40 for the tickets, and then $50 for the food and drinks, and you're like, I spent over $100.
Okay.
And it's like I could skip a movie theater twice and buy an awesome sound system. So it's just so expensive.
So
relatively.
To say to Luke's point, he clearly knows nothing about how current cinema works because I go to the theater and pay $0.00 every single time that I go.
Because
I'm signed up for the Regal Unlimited subscription. and I pay $18 a month, not $20 per ticket, and I bring in my own food because no right-minded person is buying
illegal
food from the theater. Sometimes I do.
But Shayne, but that's gonna kill the theater. That's gonna kill the theater.
That's why I said sometimes I do, Luke. But other times when I don't want to spend the money and I want to see a movie for free, so I'm bringing in my own food.
Yeah, Michael, you chime in a little bit.
All right, so I feel like I'm in the middle on all this because I agree with Shayne. Sometimes you guys see a movie in the theater. Like Endgame in the theater was electric. Like seeing Lord of the Rings in the theater was amazing. Star Wars, phenomenal. Even like really like emotional dramas. It's just like you want that like big booming sound system, the energy of the crowds, like a concert. But that doesn't mean they're gonna stay around. I think movie theaters will become like vinyls.
I was just about to say that.
In the future.
I was thinking that.
Yeah, vinyl went out of style because it wasn't really practical. It wasn't really efficient. Like you could do so much more with digital sound. But now it's coming back because people are like, oh,
vinyls are coming back. Sound. They'll never go away, just like theaters.
Right,
but they did go away.
But
and
also
movie theaters, they obviously just can't stay open that much. They are like, okay, my church meets in a movie theater. We pay rent every single week. We are like half of their revenue.
Holy
because
crap.
They are failing already.
We are half of their revenue.
I was I was thinking about
they put up with so much of our crap because we actually like are keeping them in business right now. That's how bad movie theaters are.
I mean, there has to be something people can use theaters for to make more money than just because when do people see movies? Generally Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's about it. Like obviously people will go during the week sometimes, but the majority of the showings are there. So for the rest of those days, they should come up with some other thing to use it. Now, when I was thinking about like what is this comparable to, and I thought, oh, it's like film versus video, because people like me like seeing film. I remember enjoying Force Awakens just because it was shot on film. Like I enjoyed it more because it just looked better to me for some reason, and I can't really explain why. But why do people not shoot on film? It really sucks to shoot on film. Nobody wants to shoot on film.
When digital exists, it's easier.
Yeah, and so that's the same with movie theaters. Like people might prefer it, but it's just the inconvenience I think is overpowering that.
So I will say this. I'm not, just to clarify, I'm not opposed to watching movies at home. I do it all the time, and it's very enjoyable. I will invite friends over, go to friends' houses, do it all the time. And I do agree, streaming is definitely the future. As much as I hate it, I've subscribed to Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus. I have all the streaming things, so I'm all about it, right? It's just, I just cannot see me watching new movies and getting excited to watch them at home. No matter how comfy it is, how convenient it is, I can pause it, get my own snacks, I can go to the bathroom without missing anything. Wow, what a blessing. It doesn't
matter how much you love it. It's gonna go out of business.
Yeah, it's all about the money, because it's like, let's say you love it.
So.
Let's say
I don't think so.
Let's say that you love it double. You love it twice as much. Like going to a movie theater is twice as fun as watching it at home, right? It's still more expensive for the movie theater. Like not the movie theater, for the film companies to put their movies in movie theaters. So film companies would rather you watch their films at home. The problem is people would rather watch them in the theater. So that it's in their best interest that we watch it at home because it's cheaper for them and they make more money. So it doesn't matter like how we feel about it. It's just too inconvenient for everybody. And we're not enough people are going.
How do you make that argument? I've never heard any film people say that.
How many times do you think I go to a movie theater versus watch something at Netflix? Forget quarantine in general.
Like a month.
Well, I understand the point. You can obviously watch Netflix more than you can watch
and I do.
A movie.
Like
go to a movie theater.
I watch Netflix and YouTube like 100 times more than I watch movies in theaters.
Yes. I go to the movie theater like 0.5 times a month.
Yeah.
If that, right?
Yeah, the theater is for the experience of going.
I mean, it's awesome. But Shayne, like, think about it. They already were going to like on a decline in a business sense before anything went down. Now there's like several months where people can't go to the movie theaters, so they're not making any money right now. Not to mention when they do open up and everyone can go to the movie theaters, there's gonna be some restrictions or something for at least like another year. At least like socially, people are not gonna want to go to theaters and they'll be scared of like the coronavirus. The golfers will be out there, and then they'll die.
I don't know.
Nobody else will go to the theaters because everyone who went to the theaters is dead.
You know what this is like? This is like the headphone jack, where it's like it doesn't matter. It's just like it was so much easier for companies to just get rid of it. That they said, screw people that care. We're getting rid of it, and
salty.
people will get over it. And people are getting over it.
I'm not over it.
I'm not over it.
So
Michael's not over it. For sure.
I just don't know. The headphone jack
right before this podcast.
The headphone jack thing is stupid. I don't know. With movie theaters, I think downsizing to a smaller amount of theaters will happen. What I don't know what time frame. I don't know what time frame we're talking about, but I don't see theaters going away anytime soon. I think there's too many powerful people, I feel like, in the film industry that will like go to the grave being like, no, the movies.
They'll get their money, right? And the people who are like, it has to be this way, they will. The people that are like, it has to be the way that I want it, they're gonna die. They're all old. Like, you really think that like I'm sorry, but I'm being like, young kids don't care. Like, young kids don't really understand what it's like to go to the theater as much. Like they just want their iPad. You know, like
people watch movies on their phones these days. I can never get behind that. Like,
I do that.
A whole movie, I can't do it.
Hey, put headphones in. You got 5.1 surround sound right here.
I don't understand.
I watched this brand new movie that just came out. I'm watching Endgame for the first time on my
But at the same time, I feel like those are people who never went to the theaters to begin with, and they're just now watching movies because they can. Shayne. So I think it's just an inflation rate.
But you see that would be like if let's think we were with a bunch of car enthusiasts, and they're like, wow, people drive Toyotas. Why would they drive a Toyota instead of a nice? And it's like, well, we just don't. We never have. I've never owned an expensive car like that, so I don't. You know, I don't have an attachment to it. So that's what most people are, you know.
I think too, and I think this way just because I comparing it to the music industry, which they're different but similar. When streaming, you know, started coming out and everyone's like, oh, the album is dead, no one's gonna buy physical albums anymore. Well, it's been like almost 10 years since streaming happens, and physical albums are still like being bought
but that's not that much time. It's only 10 years.
Physical albums in music, that's not true. It's only for like huge bands.
Yeah,
most artists, they make all their money from touring.
From streaming.
What was it with the mining company?
Oh, I'm not saying anything about money. I'm not talking about money. I'm just talking about things that are sold and bought by the customer.
I know, but people are like, oh, self-driving cars are out. But there's still truck drivers. I guess truck drivers are never going to go away. And it's like people are talking all the time about how truck drivers are going to go away because self-driving cars.
But they haven't.
That's because we barely
know,
even
but
have self-driving cars yet, Shayne.
Just because they haven't.
Because they can't.
In 10 years.
It's because they can't, and that's the right verbiage, right? It's because they can't.
Yeah, because I'm sure people people probably said, dude, radio broadcast.
People said radio is dead.
They said, listen, hold on, Shayne, let me finish. Like, they said radio broadcast dramas, like basically television shows on radio. People are like, that's insane. This is the greatest. Like The Shadow and the Lone Ranger, like all those shows. People love that. It's completely dead. A lot of people have never heard of it, and it's just gone, right? And it's like, why? It's just because it just didn't last. And like, movies in theaters, that could happen. It could happen.
I don't think those are comparable things.
I
understand your point. Because a small radio show is not comparable to a theater.
Why?
Because you're talking about one specific type of radio show.
What's the difference? All right, well then why did MySpace die? Like, things die all the time.
It's just progression.
Things that we don't know are
MySpace is still here and alive, Luke. No one just uses it.
No, it's not.
Yeah. And that's actually, I mean, Shayne, that's a good point. Like, what do we mean by dead? Like, I would say cable TV is dying and close to dead.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, let it die.
Like, dude. I was reading a stat on
cable TV all the time.
Landlines. No one has a landline. Why? Because there's
no reason to have
a
landline.
Yeah,
except for Shayne's
nobody that you
and that's
know
the
that's
point.
like your age has a landline.
And I don't know why. Every time I've asked, why do you have this?
All right, Nick, go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, it's like the whole idea with like when boomers die, what's gonna go with them, kind of thing. You know, it's like what's gonna be gone in 20 years.
Yeah.
And you could say like cable TV will probably be gone in like 20 years for sure.
Definitely better.
Will movie theaters be in the same place? I don't think so, but I think it'll be like malls. It's like, oh, you want to go to that movie theater down the street that still exists?
Yeah, it'll be like a bowling alley. Like, how often do people actually go to? When was the last time you guys went to a bowling alley?
The big extra thing.
Last Tuesday with my bowling team. How dare you?
Hold on, because every single person on this podcast has gone bowling before, but we don't go bowling very often.
I used to be a professional bowler.
I just love that no matter what you say, Shayne's gonna say the opposite. If
No,
you say that movie theaters will never die,
I just
Shayne'll be like, no, I saw a movie theater die in my hometown. It already closed.
I just said I was a professional bowler. I agree. No one goes bowling except for old people. I'm aware.
I know, but you said that like it was like countering my argument. And I'm like, people don't go to the bowling alleys very often. Luke, I was a professional. Shayne, what does it have to do with
I went
anything?
to the bowling alley every day. No, you know what? Shayne, I think what we're trying to say is there are progressions. So bowling alleys are still a thing.
I agree.
And they were super popular before. Bowling alleys. I'm sure people went bowling all the time before video games were invented. They would grind on their bowling game. And then now it's just like less of a common thing. People go bowling like once a year. I haven't gone bowling in the past 5 years since my friend's dad's birthday party or whatever. And then like cable is, I would say cable is dead, but it still exists. MySpace is, you can still go to myspace.com and it will be there, but it's not relevant. Movie theaters, I think, they're gonna. Yeah,
people still have beta tapes. Beta tapes. You guys probably don't even know what a beta tape is. Like,
nope.
But
it's
they
a beta
exist.
Tape.
People have them. People have
It's
beta
dead,
tape
Shayne.
players,
So
but it's still dead. No one uses
so what
it.
you're saying is you think that movie theaters are going to become culturally irrelevant.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, here's a good example. What I'm saying, and what you guys are like, basically, Shayne. What's being argued against is that I'm saying it's going to die, and Shayne, you're like, it's not going to die. It's going to be a vegetable. It's going to have one. It's going to be connected to a machine and like be alive still. And it's like
That's what he's saying.
Yes,
You're kind of saying
still
that.
alive, but it's so like
just because
compared to
but
where
why
it is
is it?
now, it's all the way down there.
But why are we not talking about how movie theaters could maybe adapt to the trends?
I don't
it's
know
not
how
our
they.
job.
I don't know how they can really.
It's not my job to figure that out.
We're gonna wrap this up in a second.
Location. In my mind,
Well, maybe they'll have like one
you have
theater.
to go there. It's
They'll
not,
have a stadium movie theater, maybe like one giant movie theater that everyone can go to, and then it's like a big, huge event, kind of like a music venue or something. Maybe.
Maybe. I just don't think. I mean, COVID-19. Yes, stay at home. Social distance, but. Let's keep it real. When all of this blows over and people stop caring about it, not everyone, but when people stop caring about it, people are gonna want to be in large spaces and stuff again. So that's
gonna be like in like 1 or 2 years.
Maybe in 20 to 30 years, I can see your argument. Yes, in the near future, and that means 5 to 10 years. I don't see it.
I think in 10 years, Shayne, there'll be like one movie theater.
We'll come back on this podcast in 10 years, and we'll see if movie theaters are still relevant. You guys listening, bookmark this.
We'll find out. Bookmark this
episode.
Check it.
I have a question.
All right, what's
Shayne,
up?
Shayne, how's your Blockbuster stock doing?
My Blockbuster stock. My Blockbuster stock
I'm just
is
kidding.
all the way up. I own Blockbuster. I'm the CEO.
He's like, excuse me.
I own the one
Nick,
store that still exists.
He goes, Nick, I was a professional Blockbuster.
I used to go all the time, so I was a professional Blockbuster.
So we've been talking a lot about movie theaters. Our rank it for this episode is which one is the best? I didn't know this was controversial. And I haven't thought a whole lot about this.
There are differences.
But I did bring it up.
Opinions.
I brought it up before the episode, and the fire just
I didn't even know I had an opinion on it until I thought about it. Then I was like, oh, wait, I do have an opinion.
But what is there? Because this one might leave a little open-ended. There's AMC, Regal.
Mm-hmm.
I think the top three that we have to do are Regal, AMC,
Cinemark,
Cinema Cafe, Cinebistro. I don't know if those are all the same people, but
we can count this as one.
Can we count? Hold up. Can we count the ones where you get food? Like where you sit down and a waiter comes in and like
because
gives you
the
food?
movie quality isn't as good.
That's part of the experience.
Yeah.
Well, why would anyone choose any of the sucky theaters? Well,
it's more expensive.
Because Luke,
AMC does that though. AMC does that.
Some
you want to know why? You want to know why I don't like things like Cinema Cafe and Cinema Bistro and stuff? Not saying that this is on my bottom or anything, but I like the idea of being able to get food and watch my movie, right? What I don't like is when I'm trying to enjoy my movie and my waiter or my waitress comes over and says, "Oh, can I get you anything?" I'm like, "Did I click the button for you to come over here?" Because I didn't. And now you're interrupting.
I'm watching a movie.
You're interrupting my experience to ask me if I needed anything.
You make it sound like they walked up and like knocked your drink out of your hand and like, "Do you want anything else?" It's like they'll just wave. They're just like, hey, do you want anything? And she's like, God, ruined the movie.
It's hilarious because I stress customer service so much, and it's actually a really good customer service thing. But when you have a button that says, call for help, I'm going to click the button when I need something. So I know you just want to do your job. I know you want to feel like you're having a good time.
Nick,
don't come up and interrupt my movie.
What were you going to say, Nick?
Well, I was just going to say Alamo Drafthouse has the system completely figured out. And you write a card saying hey, this guy's being too loud, or hey, I need popcorn, and it sticks out on the shelf. And the shelves are high enough when you're watching the movie, you can't see people if they're below it. So they kind of crawl down like this. They'll sneak up, and you just see a little head, and they grab the card, and then they leave.
What?
And so,
what?
And so,
they're like little moles.
Yeah, you explain it since I just had to go away from the mic. But what did I just do? Yeah, go ahead and explain it.
So what you're saying is that there's these little tunnels, not really tunnels, but these little areas. Basically,
it's like a step down.
Yeah, the area where the waiter comes through, you can put a card saying, I need something, or this person's being too loud, or can I get another drink, or whatever it is. You stick it down, and so the waiter or whoever it is can come by and pick it up.
They don't bother you. They don't talk to you at all. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, but they're like army crawling.
Right,
not really, but they're crouched.
But which one? So we got AMC. What are we comparing?
Yeah. I would say AMC, Regal,
experience.
and
your experience.
Cinema Cafe and or Cinema Bistro.
I don't know what Cinema Cafe is.
Because they have different food.
Bistro. It's the same thing.
So why would I ever go to Regal and sit in a regular chair than have a dentist chair where
Regal
they have
has
menus?
reclining seats.
Let me tell you why. Actually,
does Regal have waiter service though?
Can I do my rank it so I can tell you why?
Yes.
All right. So for me, all right. Okay, so my number 3 is my number 3 is AMC.
Ooh,
the reason why is because now I know this might sound counterintuitive, but wait a second. So AMC is my third favorite. I like AMC. It's got good quality movies, but now they have reserved seating exclusively, which most theaters do these days.
Yeah,
you'll see what my answer makes sense in a second. Wait a second. So
which proves a point actually. So
it makes it so difficult to go to movies with people unless you plan it a day before. If it's a movie that's been out for 3 months, maybe you can go see it and all sit together in a good seat. But otherwise, you gotta plan it 2 days. You gotta buy your tickets online to make sure you're in the same row. I got the movie pass, Shayne, a couple years ago before it failed the first time. It was $8 a month.
Yeah, when
I could never use it because you can't reserve a specific seat online. You can only go there and find an empty seat. So I had it for 3 months, and I bought tickets every time I went to the movie theater because I had to buy the ticket to sit next to my friends.
No wonder
in the
that
theater.
thing failed.
So dumb. Yeah,
no wonder it failed.
It didn't make any sense from a monetary standpoint anyway. But anyway, so that happens. Real Cinema or Cinema Cafe, I say is number 2 because you can get food. The movies are also cheaper. It's $3 or $4 because then you're gonna buy food, and you can get okay food.
Wait, your movies are $3 or $4?
Have you never been to Cinema Cafe in Virginia, Luke?
What? Movies here are $18 for not even 3D.
That's New York. Oh my God!
You moved there, not us.
Why do I live in these cities?
But
you chose this.
Cinema Cafe or even Cinema Bistro is not that bad, and you can get food. Food's okay. The seats are pretty good, but Regal Cinema is still super good quality. Oh, by the way, I think at Cinema Cafe and Regal Cinema, Cinema Bistro, the movie quality isn't as good. It's not as big of a screen or as epic of a sound system. But at Regal Cinema, you get a great sound system. There's regular seats, which is kind of a bummer, but you don't have reserved seating, so you can just go.
But there's only regular seats if you go to the wrong theater.
Yeah.
Right? Shayne.
They have some Regals have reclining seats.
Yeah, some of them
not
do.
all
the ones in my area
not
are
all
still
of them.
normal. Yeah.
I'm sure that's going to be their model.
If I looked at the best AMC and the best Regal and the best whatever the other one would be, AMC
Cinema
I think
Cafe
has the nicest theaters. They always have the biggest screens and the loudest sound.
Yeah,
I hate it when
renovated.
Listen, all right, I'm going to say a few things. So when AMC, they'll actually turn the volume up where it's oh, yeah, man, I'm in a movie theater. I go to some of these other little theaters and they're turning it. I can hear the person behind me more than the explosion on the screen, and I hate that because
they're being considerate.
It's stupid though because it's a movie theater. I'd be turning the crowd down, which is going to happen in a football game. There's going to be no crowds, but that just would ruin it. You'd be that's so quiet. I have to whisper. I have to whisper at a football game. So AMC, I think, is my top one because there are AMCs that have the food. Wait. AMC is expensive, But every
AMC
single
is expensive.
Hold on, let me get a few things out there. So AMC, I think, is the most expensive. Cinebistro and some of those others, I guess, are more expensive. But if you go to an AMC that's like a Cinebistro, it's going to be about the same price, I think. If you go one with waiters.
I didn't know they had AMCs with waiters, though.
They do.
I
went to one in Seattle.
So I guess they're competing with Cinebistro then. That's their whole thing.
So that's where it's tricky, because it's like, oh, if I go
Why
to the
do you
Cinemark...
want someone to serve you?
What? Okay.
Because we're bougie.
So I got to figure out how to get this out. I like the assigned seats, I think, because I hate paying all this money to go see a movie, which is apparently way more expensive for me to go see than you guys.
It is.
Like, the movies are really expensive, and then when you can't get a good seat, and you're like rushing to get in there, like no one would like to be with me if I want to see a movie, and I don't know if we'll get seats, because I would just want to get in there. You know, I'll be like, we gotta go fast as can to get in, because like the bottom row seats, not a fan. So I don't know. AMC would probably be my top one. Then probably Regal, and then whatever's left. But we cannot compare Cinebistro, because Cinebistro is so different from Regal and AMC.
Well, otherwise there's something else.
There's no other major theater. At least you gotta compare like a
Cinemark.
But Cinemark is just the same thing, just kind of crappy. Like,
yeah, so
I've never had a good Cinemark experience, and it's only been 2 times.
Cinemark is the cheapest.
I don't count Cinemark.
I did have a good time at Cinemark one time though, because I like asked if the movie was still playing, and the guy got confused and let me see it for free. So that was awesome.
I'm pretty sure Cinemark.
He was like, "Yeah, it's in there. You can go ahead." I was like, "Oh, okay." And I just walked in. So that was great.
I'm pretty sure Cinemark has like candy on the ground and they don't clean it up, so it's just squished everywhere.
That's the candy for sale.
If I'm comparing, because are there any Cinebistros that don't have food?
No, that's the whole point.
Right. So when I'm comparing Cinebistro, the restaurant, with AMC, the movie theater that is the worst one, you know, obviously I'm going to choose Cinebistro, but I'm trying to think
if you want something cheaper. Like cost is accounted in mine. So, like I would still choose AMC because they have recliners now, and now you can just bring in your own food. Cinebistro, the idea is that you're getting a drink, and you also have to tip your waiter, so it can be very expensive.
Yeah.
And
that's true. That actually is a good point, because when I go to movies, I hate for me when you have to pay that much money.
Yeah, you're already paying enough for the ticket, so I put Cinebistro second.
Luke's paying like $30 a ticket.
Second.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you about buying a ticket. I haven't bought a ticket in years.
Yeah, I'm like, do we want to go? Hey, Ruji, do we want to go out to a steak restaurant or see a movie? You know, and it's the same price.
Same price.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you think like I get us both a $40 steak for what a movie costs.
Or you can get like okay popcorn.
So this is my ranking
that we can share.
So this is my ranking, and then I also like worked at AMC, so I can like tell a quick story about that. But
I like how Shayne's worked everywhere we've talked about today, pretty much.
Professional bowler, professional AMC worker.
So my ranking is, like I already said, you know, cinema cafes, cinema stuff is on the bottom, because the idea of a waiter, it doesn't sit well with me. It used to back in the day, but nowadays I'm like, I don't want that.
Because of coronavirus.
AMC is number 2, and I used to be a huge AMC fan. I used to exclusively go to AMC, like back in high school and early college. But I think maybe because I worked at one that changed my opinion. But AMC for me, what really changed my mind and put Regal at number 1 is their movie pass. Just to make it quick, Regal is unlimited, any movies you want, as many as you want, any time of day, as long as they don't overlap. AMC is basically the same thing, but you can only see 3 movies a week. And it's more expensive. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to pick Regal because I like to go see movies. I'll see movies, 5 times a week. If I'm seeing it, for one price, like, yeah, I'm going to do it. So that's why I like Regal. I think Regal has better food. They had specifically, they had the boneless wings, and AMC never had the boneless wings, and I love boneless wings. So concessions is a big part of going to movies.
Let me jump in. I just thought of something. So I think I choose movie theaters based on the risk of something being messed up. Because if I go to a movie theater and it's the cheapest movie theater, the chances that the audio will be not calibrated correctly, or too quiet, or the screen will be out of focus, like all these things that happen. I literally like went to see a movie in the theater, left, went to the manager and was like, "Can someone fix this? Because I hate this." Because like the sound equalization, or like the levels, like the low sounds, the sounds that were supposed to be loud were muffled, and the sounds that were quiet were too loud. And so I was literally watching The Hobbit, like the second Hobbit movie, which I actually enjoyed back when it came out. And I took people to see it, and I was like, "No, this one's actually good. We should go see it." And they all hated it. Because there was no impact to anything. Like, all the action felt boring. And it was like, it ruined this movie. And I paid all this money for it. And it was sucky, you know? And I hate that.
I'm imagining Luke explaining this to like a minimum wage, like
I know,
theater employee.
I was young
like,
at the time.
The sound equalization is not sitting well with me. They're like, "Yo,
kind of
bro,
compressor
I
you
get
guys even
$5 an hour."
They basically did the soundboard, the sound guy move where they're like, "Okay, oh, I fixed it. It's fixed now. Does that sound better?" Like they didn't even do anything.
Knobs.
Yeah.
They just pretended to turn a knob. Like, "Oh yeah, there we go.
Now,
better."
I will say about AMC, talking about the sound, AMC does have the Dolby theaters, which I have not personally been to yet, but I've heard that they are amazing when it comes to the sound quality. And I think they have a new theater too where it's like the 360, so you can see it all around you. I think some of the AMCs have that. I know the one at Lynn Haven Mall has it. But
see it around you? Wait,
yeah,
what?
Actually, let's time out, because I've heard a bunch of people say that the true IMAX is where it goes all around you, and I'm how are you not watching Transformers? Like,
that's disgusting.
Like, breaking your neck trying to see.
Is that like IMAX at like the Air and Space Museum, which is like a big curved screen?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was gonna say that I saw a Sesame Street thing there.
How curved?
It's like
it's a dome.
What?
Wait, it's a dome?
Why?
No, I've never been to a Dolby theater. I'm talking about the thing at the Space Museum or the Children's Museum.
So
it's
like when I've seen that IMAX Air and Space Museum.
Have you never seen like a planetarium?
No, I've been to a planetarium, but I've never seen a movie on a like a circle. Hold on.
It's not a circle. It's just curved. It's like a curved screen.
I'm looking it up on the internet, like I always do.
Okay.
So
good.
Luke, you ever been to the Air and Space Museum in Hampton when you were living in Virginia?
I don't think I ever went to the. No, I did go there, but I never went to the theater.
They have IMAX movies there, and it's like a big round room that is also the planetarium, but the movie plays on the flat wall in front of you, but the whole room is like a dome, so the wall that you're looking at is curved around you. So like, it probably goes out to like 120 degrees out or something. Like it's not.
I'm literally like trying to find it
all the way
online.
to your sides, but it's like in front of you and kind of like diagonal to your left and right.
I've never seen a theater.
This is the best description of it.
I know all the people listening can't see it, but they're literally just like parting the sea with their hands.
So weird.
They're just Mosesing like it's like
Don't
this.
You watch?
Yeah, where's the what? Find me one photo of this because I still can't find it.
It doesn't
I've
matter.
never seen I've never
Just search
seen one.
IMAX Theater Planetarium on Google image search, and you'll see a bunch of them.
Oh, okay, Nick. Didn't think about the planetarium part. Hold on.
There's like a bunch of stuff like where they're just looking up. Why would you want to see a movie like that? I understand wanting to see like planets and solar systems like that, but I don't want to watch a movie.
I would
see. Focus on one part a lot.
The hairs in their nose. You know, like there'd just be this massive, like some of those 70mm lenses where they're like on the guy's face like this.
Hold on.
See?
You ought to be
like
foolish.
That's insane.
I've never been to an IMAX theater because I'm too dizzy. I can't handle the surroundness. I have to be able to focus on it like this in front of me. So I need to always sit in the back of a movie theater if I'm ever going to be going to the movie theater. Which is also why in my rank it, which no one asked about. Excuse me.
I wasn't done speaking about mine.
I just went to the chat, Luke.
No, Nick literally.
The wrong one.
No, I'm gonna let you go in a second, Nick. But Nick literally went. I'm gonna ask because no one asked me, and then Shayne just goes, "I haven't even finished mine yet."
No one cares, Shayne. Let me go now.
Go ahead.
Wait, Shayne, you're really not done?
Well, no, I was gonna say Regal is top just because I think they're meshing everything. Like they have the reclining seats now, they have the reserve seats now, which I do agree with Michael. Sucks when your friends aren't coordinated, but the friends I go to the movies with also have the movie pass, so it makes it a lot easier and convenient for us. But ultimately, you just end up buying the tickets all together. But yeah, But Regal is top just because I hate AMC, but that's for a personal reason.
I used to go to I already hinted toward my rank it, but I used to go to Regal all the time in Sterling, Virginia, and there was like a nice theater there that just, now it's gone to complete shit. Aww. And I feel that way about a lot of Regal cinemas that I see now. They just kind of go to shit. And
kind of like McDonald's. They're either really amazing and awesome, or they're like really run down and not that good.
And when AMC started renovating, I only noticed AMC, and I think Regal's catching up now, but I still hold AMC in a higher regard. So my ranking was going to be, Regal, RIP, second, Cinebistro, and then probably AMC. Especially if AMC's starting to serve, like, why would I go to a Cinebistro now? There's no point.
I think if I was going to choose a brand, I like AMC the most.
I like the idea of Cinebistro because I can like take a date there or something.
Agree.
But that's
AMC has good branding.
And AMC... Well, actually, I wanted to dock AMC points because I hate their Coca-Cola commercials before the movies. So I was going to dock that, but I didn't.
I think it's not as bad as that skinny cat that Cinemark had. You guys remember that guy?
No.
Yeah, it was like this little cheetah cat guy.
You
don't remember that? Nobody remembers that from Cinemark?
Oh, wait.
I think it was Cinemark. Yeah, he looked like the Cheetos guy.
Yeah.
But not,
I think so.
And he was just like their little mascot.
Yeah. I think I went to a Cinemark after that horrible.
Yeah,
Cinemark
horrible wasn't really in my area. It was mainly like on the south side.
But anyway, that's my rank it. Solid,
Cool.
solid top AMC.
Shayne, you have to still do your ranking. What do you
No.
No,
Mine was
done.
Cinemark or the bottom, the worst. AMC and then Regal at the top.
I'm gonna say my bottom one is Regal, and then it's close between these two. I don't know if I've ever been to a bad Cinebistro, but I haven't gone to very many Cinebistros at all.
Oh, it's so nice.
I would probably... It's tough, because if I compare the nice Cinebistro to the nice AMC, they're like kind of the same.
AMC,
honestly,
you seem like an AMC guy.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of which one I went to, and there's one... I went to an AMC that didn't have good food, though. I will say that. I did go to one AMC, and it was not good food.
They don't.
But then...
Most of them have good food. It's just like...
But I went to a movie theater in Miami, and I remember I really liked the food, but I forgot what it was.
Have any of you guys been to an Alamo Draft House?
No.
I think that's... here's the thing. If that was in the list, in my opinion, that tops them all. That is the perfect blend of, like, the theater feeling that we are all familiar with like, this new age stuff, and they serve you at the same time. Like, it's almost... You can't beat it.
Dude, it came from Austin, Texas.
Yeah, I think that is by far the best theater. They'll throw you out if you talk.
Texas. What?
Oh, nice.
They serve you.
So
they have the best sound system.
So if I talk to the server while they're serving me, will they kick me out for talking?
No.
They're like, Shayne, would you like some food? Yeah, I think I'll kick him out.
Get him out of here. Yeah, one of their ad campaigns actually was the voicemails that they get from people who they threw out.
Damn, they don't have any. Wait, maybe they do. Hold on, I'm trying to see if they have.
It's actually pretty funny.
Do they have any places in Miami? This
Alamo. You're asking the wrong person.
It's not for you.
Well, if Alamo Draft House had more locations, everyone would go to an Alamo Draft House, and that would be the top one by far because they just are the perfect blend. Because you can go in there, you don't have to get served, you can just watch a movie and then leave, or you go in there and you can get pampered like hell if you wanted. So
they are opening an Alamo Draft House in
Remember
Orlando.
the Alamo.
But to be determined, which after this whole fiasco that we've been talking about, they might not ever open.
That theater won't even open, Shayne. That's how bad they're closing. They're not even opening.
Well, because no one even knows what the Alamo is. But remember it, okay?
Michael's just like, see Shayne.
Yeah, you kept saying that they serve you, and I just kept thinking of like you got served, right? And then Michael just out of nowhere says it's like I almost went, he got served, just like at the movie theater.
So can I say my movie before we wrap up?
We will wrap up. But what's up?
My movie theater experience. I'm gonna make it really quick. So I wanted a second job, so I applied for AMC when I was in New York, right? I worked at the AMC in Times Square. Biggest mistake. Don't do it. So I thought it was, you work in a movie theaters, you can kind of like do whatever you want, right? And you could I didn't know there was job tiers. I didn't know you had to work your way up to concessions or work your way up to tickets, right? I thought you could just choose what you want to do and do it. So I wanted to do tickets because I wanted to talk to people about what movies they should see. I wanted to give recommendations, right? No. they say everyone starts off as the little cleaner people. So you go around and clean the theaters after the movies. It's a really easy job because half the job is standing around and waiting for a movie to be over. But this theater was so big in Times Square that I would just walk around and peek into other theaters and watch movies. But so you have to clean the theaters, right? And the theaters are huge. And you just notice how much people waste food. Like the large popcorns and 2 kernels have been eaten. And they'll leave the whole bucket there. I said, you spent $15 on this large popcorn to leave it sitting on the ground.
You even said earlier, you were like, this is America. We get the biggest food and we eat all. You're like going through the theater just cursing, like, why weren't you more American? And like,
exactly. Well, they were American. They're actually truly American. They bought
Nobody in this theater was American.
They were American because they bought something that they didn't need just because it was there and then didn't use it.
I was going to say it's more American
and then
to waste
they threw it away.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
And so the interview process was really easy. You just talk about what's your favorite movie, and if they like your favorite movie, then you basically get in. And
what's your favorite movie? And you're like, Lord of the Rings. Yeah, you can clean a theater.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm pretty sure I only got hired because the person in charge of that theater was also from like Virginia Beach, so we like connected. I said, I'm in. He's from Virginia Beach. I've already won. But my thing about movie theaters, I learned a lot more respect. I know I talked about it like it was the most dramatic thing ever. I worked there for a day, literally, and that was it. But
wow.
I had to quit. Luke, I know things for one day.
I do. It was it was technically a few days, but one actual day. But
like one day
I had to quit because basically I had to quit though because my other job wouldn't let me do it. But my thing is, clean up after yourselves in the theater, especially if you go to big theaters, because I did not enjoy picking up people's dirty stuff, because people leave random stuff too. They don't even leave their drinks and stuff. They're leaving clothes.
I don't
we know
really
what you're doing back there.
I don't.
And
that's right. You didn't pick up all the I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know the type of things you can find.
Clean up your stuff
in a Times Square movie theater. Like, of all the places, that is the worst place I would go.
Hey, that's another pro though to the home viewing experience. If you want to get naked and do whatever you want to do during the movie, you can.
True. That's true. All right, Nick, what were you about to say?
I was just going to say, Shayne, I think I got you beat. I worked a whole summer at a movie theater concession stand.
Oh, yeah. Oh, really? See, I would have probably
chicken
enjoyed
tenders
that.
and sodas. Yeah. It was messy. We cleaned a lot of popcorn.
Which theater, though? Was it Regal or AMC?
Multiplex Cinemas. It was like an offshoot. So it wasn't like an actual like Regal or... I would want to know what Multiplex falls under, because it might be Regal Cinemas, or I think they might have actually gotten bought out by Regal or something like that. So
Regal with the big bucks.
Yeah, but this was back in 2005, so that was my first job, was at a movie theater concession stand.
It's a very long time ago.
I wore a hat.
How old are you?
I have my AMC hat still.
2005.
How old are you?
Michael, old enough to be your father.
All right, on that note, let's end.
These days.
Nah, just kidding. I'm 28.
Plugs.
Well, no, in these days, anything's possible.
Oh, yeah.
Shayne, why don't you start? We're at plugs, guys.
I was thinking 1995. I was like,
what is going on?
All right, sorry.
That's right.
All right,
I was 3 when I started working there. Go.
All right, so you guys can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Mr. McCatty, McCatty, and definitely follow me on Instagram, because I've been like procrastinating because I'm just lazy and quarantine hasn't helped with that. But I'm out of quarantine now, basically, because I've been going to work every day unnecessarily, but that's a different podcast. But I will be... I got a ring light, right? So I'm trying to be like fancy and be like all the influencers and stuff. So I'm gonna have a lot more video type things coming soon. So definitely follow my Instagram for that, and then check out
like spotlight thing. Okay.
Yeah, and different stuff. Yeah. So check out my podcast too, Pop Talk Podcast, music, culture, pop culture. Just search Pop Talk Podcast, and you will find that. That's it.
Cool. All right, Michael.
You can follow me on Instagram. It's Michael Dimas, MyKolDimas, and you see all the stuff I'm doing on there. I'm working on some new music. I know I say that a lot in this podcast, but I actually am literally working on it.
Yeah, where is it?
Like, you're working. He's working.
It's a
on
work in progress. It's gonna be a while. So we're
gonna start finishing.
We're working on a song. Well, so I'm trying something new this time. So I always have a bottleneck when it comes to lyrics and drums. I actually really love writing drums, but I can never get it to sound right doing like MIDI stuff. So right now, like I'm like writing demos, sending them to my drummer. He's throwing some drums on it, and then we got a vocalist we're working with. So right now, we're on the vocalist to send me a demo, and then we're gonna go from there. So we're working on a song right now. I think it's gonna be really cool. But I'll post some progress videos on my stories if you want to check it out.
Woo.
So go follow me there.
Nice. Awesome. Finish the music.
Yep, it's happening.
You can do it. All right. Nick.
You can follow me at I Love Drummond. That's I Love Drummond, no G. I Love Drummond. And I'm probably going to have a new like Instagram. I'd mentioned it. I'm probably going to do like a personal Instagram and then just like a branding music Instagram because I want to focus on drums on one channel. And then I want to be able to pursue other side projects on another channel and maybe post about them. So I think I need to separate that out.
I think it's
but
I'm also
thinking about putting the privacy setting, like locking it, which I've never thought about doing before, but I might do that.
I thought about doing that to force people to follow me, but you have to be interesting enough in your photo and your bio, and it's really hard to do that.
Right. Yeah. It's like negging on social media.
Unless you're like a really hot girl or something. It's like, why would someone follow you? You know, like I know like if a hot girl just like posted herself on private, then like a bunch of people would just follow her because like, oh, I want to see what her pictures look like.
Yeah.
Dude, I could rant about...
I don't know.
I could rant about Instagram and OnlyFans and Snapchat, but that's probably... Yeah, we probably just talk about that at some point.
Why don't you make an OnlyFans?
You can follow me on Instagram, YouTube,
it's
Twitter,
the time to make an OnlyFans,
Facebook.
Rack up the checks.
I don't have an OnlyFans, but
saying
you can follow me on everything else on I Love Drummond, no G.
Nice.
Awesome. All right. Well, you can follow our podcast at WAITSB Podcast. We've been really kind of ramping up. I say this every time, but I'm going to keep saying it. We keep ramping it up. We're trying to post more and more on Instagram. Because the people that are following us, I want them to have a reason.
Yeah,
I want them to be glad
listeners.
they're following because it's entertaining. We're funny. We're goofy. Right? Whatever.
Yes.
So yeah, you can follow us on there. The other thing that I want to talk about is something I mentioned in the last episode. So when we finish recording these episodes, I am still on Discord. I'm still hanging out because I have to edit. You know, I have to do the post podcast work. So I do hang out in our hangout section of our Discord. So if you want to join in, we usually have like 6 to 8 people come out over the evening. It's been really fun. Just send me a message on Instagram and I'll send you a link and you can hang out with us.
Do that.
It's not a podcast, so it's not this same dynamic. It's a little bit more chill.
It's mad chill.
But we talk about all sorts of things. Like we were talking about actually playing some video games a little later, like maybe getting a bunch of people on Rocket League or something. You know, I think
or
on
Warzone.
Warzone. I think you can
Rocket League costs money.
Can't you get like 20 people in a party? On Warzone, you can get a lot of people.
Maybe.
So we're still kind of ironing out this whole post-podcast hangout, but I think we're gonna call it Down with the Ship, which I think is perfect. So
you down with the ship?
That's not official.
No, let's be down with the boat.
No, down with because the captain goes down with the ship.
Yes, but we're the boat. We're not a ship.
But no one says go down with the boat.
Yeah,
that's why. That's why we say it. So it's our thing. We don't get copyrighted.
But it's like we're all in the same boat. Down with the ship.
Where can you follow us, Luke?
It's a work in progress, guys. We're still
follow
stalking.
us on Instagram at WAITSB Podcast. You can also follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is LUKEROCKSWOLD. Whew. Got it that time.
Yeah. Hey, Luke, next time you have an idea, just have somebody else say it, and then Shayne will agree.
True.
Like, I know Shayne doesn't actually disagree with you on everything, but if you do say something, he just like, if he was on the edge, he's like, nah, I don't agree with that.
It's almost like this. I'm like 1, 2, 3, Shayne. Shayne's like, no, Luke, I don't. No, that doesn't make.
Shayne just knows it's good for you. He doesn't want to push back on you every once in a while.
That's right.
You got to have the one guy in the group that does that.
I feel that. All right, wrapping it up, guys. So follow me on Instagram. Follow everyone else on Instagram. Hang out with us on the post podcast hangout. Woo. Down with the ship. Not boat.
Work in progress.
We're all in the same boat after podcast hangout. Thanks for listening, everybody. And outro.